Hi everyone. So it has been a minute since I have posted anything on YouTube, but if you watched my channel update video, I am trying not to pressure myself of posting like every single day, every week, because it's just a lot for me with like everything going on with work and writing. It's just like a lot to continue to think about posting like 3 days a week, which yeah, I'm just gonna post when the mood strikes and when I have stuff to talk about. And yeah, it'll kind of be like whatever I want to post about. Anyways, so today is gonna be a weird video. I was starting off with like a vlog situation, like a reading vlog, but then I didn't really update you guys or like do anything really with that vlog because it's been a week. It's been a very long week. It's BTS week. I'm wearing my Seokjin sweater. We got the tickets. We got the tickets. My friend has really good luck with pre-sales and usually has a great spot in line. So she had the best spot in line out of three of us who were trying for tickets. And I was like second. I was in like 25,000 plus people. My other friend was like 36,000 plus people. We were trying for Stanford for both days. And my friend got in and got the tickets and got pretty decent seats. So we are very excited. I feel for the people who are having a rough time because this presale is crazy. This presale is crazy. I even tried for LA and I was like like low 30,000. And my friend also tried for LA for the first 2 days also. And again, she lucked out with her numbers again. And I don't know how this keeps happening. Like her algorithm is just like on the up in her computer. And she was able to get in to kind of see what the prices were like. And y'all, LA's prices are ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like what we paid for Stanford for like 200 was like 400 level pricing. And like they're going to be ants. So, like, anyways, so I don't think I'm going to try for LA. If I'm going to be honest. I also don't know where I'm going to be at that point. So, yeah, I was just like, I'll try for Stanford. It's on the weekend. So I'll just fly up and have fun there. One moment, please. Okay, so with all that being said, the BTS stuff is done and over with. I am so happy. And yeah, I'm fighting for the people who are still trying to get tickets. This is going to be like a reading update slash mini book haul. So, yeah, let's just kind of get into it. I was reading, which I will show you. But hold on, people are texting as I'm trying to do this. Okay, sorry guys. So, I'm still kind of like working here and there. So, I just had to respond to some stuff with that. But I wanted to update you guys on what I have read so far this month. And I have completed The Girl in the Tower, which I will show you guys in some clips and stuff, which was essentially going to be like my reading vlog, but I just did not feel like filming for it. So, yeah, anyways, it is really not exciting. So, I thought I would just do a little update on here. And unfortunately, I didn't love this one as much as the first one, which was The Bear and the Nightingale. The reason I loved The Bear and the Nightingale was because of the writing and like the atmosphere. It's set in Moscow, Russia, or like in Russia area, and it was very like cold and just like the writing was really well done and made me feel like I was in Russia. And there was a lot more going on with like the supernatural elements involved in this book, as there is this like monster that was kind of attacking the main character's land. And it's been a long time since I've read The Bear and the Nightingale, but my goal for 2026 in terms of reading is to complete series that I've started, and this is one of them. So, first book of the year, got this done. This is the sequel. And yeah, like I said, I didn't love it as much. It was very slow. And the first book is also kind of slow, but because of the atmosphere, I was like really captivated by the story. So I just really wasn't as captivated by this storyline. And I feel like it took a long time to get where like the end needed to go. And I was really invested in the end because like finally things were like starting to happen and things were picking up. But there was just a lot of stuff that I didn't really care about in this book. So it just wasn't the same feeling I had while reading the first one. And I don't know, like, I don't know if I will, like, if I ever reread the first one, like, if my feelings will change. But I decided to read this without rereading the first one because I just don't have the time to reread books. We really don't have the time, especially with all these series that I have to finish in the last video that I updated. Anyways, so yeah, this was a little bit of a disappointment, but I will read the third one. Maybe the third one picks up, and happy to have it done because it's just taken up space in my TBR cart. And the cover is still gorgeous. Again, these are the UK covers, and the site that I bought them no longer exists. So that's how long it's been since I've had these books. And as you can see, the yellowing of the pages. So, yeah, I was just a little sad and disappointed and was kind of bored while reading this. So, yeah, I also don't know if that's just her writing style, like if she's more of a slower paced writer, which sometimes I do enjoy, but it depends. Like it depends on if it's like a political fantasy, like I don't mind it in those situations. And there was some politics in this as well, but yeah, I just didn't really love it. I do want to read, there's a couple of other books, maybe just one other. I don't know how many other books she has apart from the series, but there is one that came out a couple years ago that I want to read, but it's also, I think, historical fantasy. I think that's kind of what she likes to do. And it's about ghosts, I think. If I can find the cover, I will put it here for you guys. But it sounded intriguing to me. And I think it was set in like the Spanish, like conquistadors era, I think. I don't know what specific era, but I think that's what it's centered in. A little disappointed, but happy to have it done. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars because I did like the end. I thought the end, like there was stuff happening in the end that I was kind of on the edge of my seat throughout it, but like it's a thick book, so the fact that it took that long for me to be like invested in it tells you something. So yeah, and there's like stuff with horses and stuff because she's meets a writer, but I wasn't really interested in that. So yeah, and I have to pause again 1 moment. So sorry, this keeps happening. Okay, sorry, I thought it was important, but it's not all that important. That's the update on that. I am currently reading Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. I know that series is very expansive, but the books are like not too long. So I don't know if I'll be continuing the series or anything, but I am reading it for research purposes because the book I am trying to write, which I'll update you in another video, is a dystopian world. So I want to try to read like dystopian scripts and dystopian books to kind of get my mindset in that. I'm currently like in the outlining phase of that book. And again, I'll mention that in another video coming up, probably sometime next week. So look forward to that. Yeah, because I think I let you know that I kind of put a pause on the Between as a book, and I've been writing it or rewriting my script for it instead. And I think it's just like more suited for a TV show because there's like a storyline and that could go on for like multiple seasons, but I'm kind of writing it right now as a mini series. So there's going to be like 6, 7 episodes maybe, and like each episode will follow one of our main characters. So yeah, I think that layout is just kind of like interesting, similar to like what Euphoria did for season 1. So yeah, something like that. I don't know how I feel about season 3, to be honest. Like I love that it was a high school show and it talked a lot about like what high schoolers currently are going through. I never dealt with any of that stuff. I always told myself that I was more of like Alexi on Euphoria. I know there were other people at my high school who were dealing with like similar situations. A lot of younger people that I know who were in high school probably relate to it more, but that was not my experience. So it was hard to like relate to it. But I liked that they discussed a lot of like deeper things within high school. And now season three just looks like they all just look insufferable, and I really don't like any of the places they are in because, like, obviously the actors have grown since the last season. So they're going to be adults in season three, and none of them have great lives. So, yeah, I just don't know how to feel about it. And I'm honestly just going to watch it just to like finish it because it's the final season. But, like, I don't love the director and I don't love how he's kind of handled the series and the other awful series that he wrote for HBO Max. I really hated that show, The Idol, the one with the weekend. I didn't even finish it because I was just like, this is just terrible, terrible piece of TV. And yeah, so not looking forward to Euphoria. Even though I feel like a lot of people are excited about it, but like I'm just like I don't was hoping better for Miss Rue, to be honest. It looks like she is in a lot of crap. So she's still getting her millions of dollars per episode. So happy for Zendaya. I was like, where was I going with that? I was comparing it to my show. But I'm also so yeah, reading Shatter Me, and I'm still listening to Assassin's Apprentice, which is the second Royal Assassin Robin Hobb book. So, still listening to that whenever I can on audiobook. That'll probably take me forever to read, just as a heads up, because I don't usually listen, like just sit and listen to audiobooks. So, I do it when I'm like doing things. So, yeah, I have that on. So, I'm doing pretty well with my goal of like continuing series. Okay. And apologies if my camera keeps changing because I have to take it off the tripod so that I can text who I'm texting. So, this is just my life, y'all. You're getting my life in real time. So, anyways, the next couple things I'm going to talk about are like a little mini book haul that I have to share with you. I feel like this video wouldn't be very exciting if I just told you about what I've been reading. And I was like, I'll add a little book haul to it. So, as you all know, or I don't know if I've told you, my birthday happened last week. So I got a couple of gift cards, and well, the Barnes and Noble ones I got for Christmas actually. And then I had credits from a return that I made for something that I got for Christmas. So I had more Barnes and Noble money so I could get some books and some albums, and that's what I did with it. So some of these though are from Amazon because I also got Amazon gift cards. So we're all over the map, and one of them is an actual gift. So yes. Anyways, I also don't script what I'm saying, so like this is kind of just how I talk. So so sorry guys. Anyways, so the books that I got on Amazon are like craft writing books. And one of them, which I've heard like pretty good things about, is Stephen King's On Writing, which I thought would be good to read to kind of give some inspiration for my book that I'm going to try to write. And boy, I started reading this the other day and I was like, Stephen King went through it as a child. So yeah, it's already starting off. And like he kind of writes it in the way he writes his like books, which I kind of really like that aspect of it. Like it's not just like an autobiography, but it feels like I'm kind of writing a horror novel, but it's like his life. Yeah, it's like a memoir, but it's like it reads like an actual like fiction novel, which I really like. There's been a couple of books like that that I've read. Like there is a nonfiction book that I read that kind of read like a fiction book because of like how they wrote it. And I actually really liked that book. It was The Devil in the White City, I think. And that was a really good book. Recommended it to like a lot of people. But yeah, so I thought I would read this, and look who is on my bookmark. Yeah. Big Daddy Namjoon is on my bookmark. I ordered these off of Etsy, I think. And yeah, I use it for like paperback books. So I'm kind of reading this like whenever I have time to read it. Like if I'm not writing in the morning, like I'll just pick up and read this. Because yesterday I did not feel like writing at all, so I just read. But yeah, then I also got this book, which is The Art of Dramatic Writing, and it's for plays. But honestly, plays and scripts are fairly similar. Plays, like the action lines, you have to write them as like stage directions, but I mean, it's pretty similar to like action lines, but I feel like in plays there's less prose. And honestly, like I've been reading a lot of scripts and they vary. Like some people implement a lot of prose into their action lines, other people are more straightforward and use like camera movements and stuff like that. So it really is like up to you and how you like to write. I kind of do a mix of like both. Like I'll write like it in prose and try to make it pretty to like set the scene, and then I'll just have like my dialogue. And then sometimes I'll add like some camera movements, but not make it so obvious that it's a camera movement. Like I'll write it in the eyes of the audience. And yeah, so I feel like this would kind of help me because one thing I do struggle a lot with scripts is dialogue. I really talk, or I write the dialogue more conversationally, like how I would be talking in real life. And sometimes when I do that, a lot of the voices sound the same. So I'm really trying to get better at like finding the voices of each character, which is like really hard for me. I don't know why, but it's really hard for me. So I thought this would help because I think I chose this one specifically for tips on dialogue and dramatic writing. So I don't know when I'll read this, but I'm kind of curious on it. And yeah, we didn't, this wasn't one of the books that we had to read in school, but we didn't really do a lot of playwriting. We've done like comic books and a web series and obviously TV scripts and film scripts, but we also got to write short films. So we kind of were like all over the map. We also got to develop video game ideas, but we didn't really do plays. So that might be interesting to learn about if I ever want to write a play. The other two books that are like more fun that I got off of Barnes and Noble or was another sequel, which is one of the sequels that I want to read this year, and that is Mr. Impossible by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the sequel to the Call Down the Hawk book, which is the series focuses on Ronan, who is one of the brothers of the Raven Boys series, and it's kind of an apocalyptic story. There's like a lot of stuff going on. I really liked the first book and I wanted to get the second book, and it was on sale because Barnes and Noble was having a 50% off sale on their website and it was for hardcovers. So I was like, I'm going to buy a couple of hardcover books. I personally like paperbacks more than covers, but this cover is really fun because it kind of reminds me of Supernatural a little bit because of like the car and the two people. Like, I mean, it's a guy and a girl, but it reminds me of Sam and Dean. And I'm assuming this is Ronan, and this is one of the other characters that this series focuses on. It's a lot shorter than the first book, so I'll probably be able to finish this like pretty quickly. But yeah, loved the Raven Cycle series and I really enjoyed the Call Down the Hawk book. I listened to the audiobook for that one and I think I'll just read this physically since I have it. But I really like the series a lot. I wasn't sure if I was going to, but I did. This one, honestly, this next book was honestly like a cover buy, which yeah, I mean it's YA also. I feel like I'm kind of going out of YA, but this one kind of intrigued me because of the world it was set in. Like I read the synopsis on it and I was like, "Oh, that actually sounds kind of like interesting." And the cover is just so gorgeous. I love this cover. I'm obsessed with it. But it look at that. Look at that. Gorgeous. It's The Nightblood Prince by Molly X Chang. Never heard about it until I saw it on, like, I was just perusing and seeing what books were part of the 50% off sale, and this was one of them. And it's like a special look at those edges. Is there art on the inside? Hold on. No, there isn't. But oh, and look at the spine. Yeah, beautiful. It's set in like China, and there's vampires in it. And I was like, this sounds amazing. I was like, everything about this sounds right up my alley. And I think there's like a love triangle, maybe, which I typically don't love love triangles, but it just sounded like great. And I looked at the reviews on Goodreads and they're pretty good. I am intrigued and I'm just obsessed with this cover. If you know anything about this book, let me know. If you read it, let me know if you liked it. It looks like she wrote another book called To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. Never heard of it. It's just like, I'm sure there's going to be Chinese mythology in here. And it sounds great. Sounds really good. So, very excited about that one. And then the last book I have to talk about is the gift that I got. And this one was a Christmas gift. Initially, I thought it was a birthday gift, but I read the card and it's a Christmas gift from my grandparents. And it's a cookbook and it is called Rooted in Fire by Payette Despain. I really hope I am saying that right. Apparently, she won Gordon Ramsay's Next Level Chef season 1, and it is celebrating Native American and Mexican cooking. And I looked through the pictures, and a lot of the food looks really good. Looks very tasty. So I might, and the ingredients are actually not, there's not a lot of ingredients. So that's exciting. And she's got like barbecue sauces. But yeah, it looks really interesting. Looks very interesting, actually. So I might look more into that. It seems vegetarian. Oh, no, not vegetarian. Okay. But there are some like side dishes that are vegetarian. So yeah, excited to look through that. Always looking for some food recipes. I like to cook, so I like finding new recipes and stuff. So yeah, I'll definitely look through this a little bit more later. And I might as well show you the albums that I got since this is like a haul and I had extra money so I could buy another album, well, 2 other albums. So on separate orderings. But yeah, let me go grab those real quick. So this might be kind of a hot mess of a video, but hopefully it's entertaining. But the 2 albums that I got are actually Stray Kids albums that I've been wanting and haven't purchased them yet. But when I was in store returning the albums that I got for Christmas, I returned them because they're groups that I don't really follow. But my boss got them for me for Christmas because she knows that I'm into K-pop, but didn't see any of the groups that I liked. It was like the Itzy Gold album and one of the 17 albums that came out. And I like some 17 stuff, but like I'm not a huge fan of them. I don't love a lot of their discography, but like some of their songs like I bop around to. But I didn't want to like keep the album because I don't think I even listened to that album. If I'm going to be honest, I don't really keep up with them either. So I returned them. And when I was in store, I exchanged for something they actually had in store. And I got like some money back after exchanging. And that's when I did the online order because I also had the gift card that I already had. So yeah, the first album that I got in store was Karma, which I was very excited they had this because it was the version I wanted. So was very excited and the photos look amazing. I'll put the photos up here. I'm not going to go through all of the items in here because there are a lot of items, but got a lot of stuff in here. But it was very fun album. And I also like that they went back to like their Korean costuming and stuff like that because I feel like they've been kind of going away from that recently. And this era really reminded me, like Karma and the next album I'm about to show you reminded me of the Thunderous. That's not closing. So I will close that later. But it reminded me of the Thunderous era, the Noisy era, which I loved that era. And I'm like really hoping they go back to their like Korean roots because I feel like lately K-pop has And honestly, like K-pop is pop. They just speak Korean. That's like any pop, Latin pop or J-pop or T-pop. It's all just pop. It's a blend of genres to make it popular. So it's all the same. It's just like different, like the lyrics are in their native language. But I feel like recently K-pop has been more geared towards the international fans because they like are making Billboard charts and they know that if they have some like English stuff in there, they might get looked at more overseas, and that's where like all the money is. I feel like K-pop has kind of, I don't know, it's I'm in a weird headspace with K-pop recently, and I feel like it's just cuz like now a lot of the K-pop stuff is sounding like normal everyday pop to me, but like when I first heard like Thunderous and when I first heard like God's Menu, I was like, "Oh my gosh, these songs are so good." And don't get me wrong, I ended up liking Ceremony a lot more like after I listened to it more and like all the other B-side tracks. And I do love that like Stray Kids also like writes and produces a lot of their music. I just feel like a lot of the title tracks are leaning more into like Western pop and even their music videos like leaning more into that. So I'm just happy like I feel like they're going back to their roots and the like Korean culture in the music videos themselves, specifically like with the clothing and like even in a Walking on Water, they were like it was a mix of a couple of different things, but they were like at a palace. And I just love it when they like film music videos in palaces. It's fun. But anyways, that was a little rant. I'm like in a really weird headspace. Like I'm still enjoying the music and stuff, but I'm not watching as much content about it like online and stuff. And I'll still like follow my like main groups and stuff like that, but I just feel like I'm in a weird spot with K-pop. Would love to know if anyone else is as well, because I feel like I've also been hearing this a lot lately. Like a lot of the music, the K-pop music is like leaning more towards the Western pop sound. But yeah, anywho's, very excited about BTS's album because I feel like with the title of the album, the like look of the album, I feel like they're also gonna be more in their Korean roots. So looking forward to that. But the next album that I got was the Do It album. So I pretty much have a lot of Stray Kids album. I have like Christmas Evil and Up. I don't have a lot of their older albums yet, but they have a huge discography. So I don't know when I'll be getting those, and I'm running out of space on my shelves. So yeah, I separate my shelves by group. So I have very little space. I had to put this one on a different shelf because it's pretty tall and it didn't fit on my Stray Kids shelf. So yeah, I'm gonna need to get another shelf, which is why I haven't been buying albums in like copious amounts recently because I'm running out of space and I don't want to like bunch of stuff to bring back if I'm probably going to move out of this apartment once the lease ends, or I'm definitely going to. So yeah, I just don't want to have too much stuff to pack. The only shelf right now that is kind of lacking is Enhypen. So I haven't bought their like last couple of albums because I haven't been loving their last couple of albums as much as their past albums. So yeah, I only buy an album if I like love the B-sides and if I love the title track and everything. But yeah, so I got Do It finally, and this was also a really great photo shoot because they're like witches in this one. So yeah, they were like by the sea and they're like in black and it's like it's so good. So good. I already put the photo cards away. So I'm not gonna show you the photo cards I get, but like we got a lot of stuff. I got IN as the big like poster card situation, which he looks really good in that photo. So yeah, that is exciting stuff. And oh yeah, and there's like a second half of photos in here where they're wearing like the pink outfits from the music video for Do It. So, and those are more like luxurious photos. But yeah, that is the haul and the reading updates. So this video ended up being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. So it's going to be choppy. So apologies about that. But again, that's just me. So you are getting the real thing. And yeah, I would love to know like what books you have bought recently, if you're buying books at all, if you're on a book buying ban. I was on a book buying ban for like a really long time because I ran out of space on my bookshelves for one, and my TBR cart was overflowing. So I was like, I'm not going to buy real books. I'm just going to like read ebooks and listen to audiobooks and try to get through the ones that I have not read yet that are on my TBR cart. And also, I've been buying K-pop albums instead. So I haven't really been purchasing books. So this was a little fun haul to share with you guys. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.